say you'll listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry.
Welcome to another episode of Yeah, No, I Know. But before we get started, a little disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast is being claimed as fact. Most everything discussed here are our own individual, personal opinions, beliefs, and experiences. We encourage you to always do your own research and form your own opinions. Nothing one person says on this podcast goes for everyone here. Each individual speaking is speaking only for themselves and no one else on the podcast. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started.
Okay, welcome back, team.
Feels like we're on a
ladies
team
and
today.
gents.
Ladies and gents, because we do have some gents.
We do.
We have some male listeners. Woo woo.
Shout out to you boys.
Cheers to the guys. We had so we're officially going to call it our relationship series.
Or is it relationship or relationship?
I
And
don't
then
know.
at the end we decide which one it is, just to be happy.
Okay, so our relationship or relationship series.
Yes.
And then at the
Shit. Did you guys
end,
catch that?
Ship
Shit.
or shit.
ship or shit. This is going to be fun. So then we'll decide at the end. Is it a relationship they should continue or is it poop?
Yes. Should they continue on that ship together or should they flush that shit down the toilet?
There you go. So anyways, I was going to say, I love that our last one, Pretzel Guy, shout out. We love you.
Yep.
And give us updates,
Yeah,
you
I was
guys.
just
We
about to
want
say,
to
I want to know
know.
how it's going.
Like, we want to know, like, Pretzel Guy, did you talk to your girlfriend? Are things better? Have you tried jujitsu moves
You
on
guys
her in the
hate us.
bedroom?
You don't watch us anymore.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know
Did
who
you break up?
If you guys don't know who Pretzel Guy is, we'll link it for you in the description box if you want to listen to that one, because I love that one.
We just want to say we think that he is very smart and wise for asking 3 women,
Right.
our opinion or advice on his relationship. Like, more guys, send in your questions because we're really
Or
smart.
girlfriends have
I'm
your
kidding.
boyfriends watch.
There you go. Maybe not watch. Maybe just listen.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, we talk about
Yeah.
our boobies. Okay, so our relationship or relationship series.
Here we go.
Here we go, everyone. So, this girl is 23 years old. Her and her boyfriend have officially been together 2 years officially, 1 year of just talking. She's obviously really in love with him and can see a future with him, blah, blah, blah. So when they started talking, they were in college, and he never asked her to be his girlfriend. They basically were together without the label is kind of what it sounds like. They did everything that couples do. They just didn't have the label, and he was kind of like, why do we need a label when we know, you know my feelings for you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Okay, cop out.
Seriously. So her best friend hated this about him and really just doesn't like him at all simply because of that. She is the kind of person who tends to hold grudges.
Wait, do they still not have a title?
So she said finally after about a year, I was like, okay, either we're in a relationship or we're not. And he agreed that they were in a relationship. And so things were fine. She said, fast forward to March of this year, my best friend no longer lives in the same state as me. So to pick it back up, there's a lot to this. So basically her friend moved out of state and she came into town last minute because one of their friends was in the hospital. And so her boyfriend had said to her, like, don't make plans on this specific date on March 6th.
But we don't know why, right?
Nope, she doesn't know why. But so that just happens to be while her friend was in town. And she said normally her and her boyfriend, like, don't really do much. They just hang out and, like, lay around on the couch. And so she was like, okay, well, I want to hang out with my friend while she's here. So what are we doing on this day? And he kind of acted like he didn't know what she was talking about. So she's like, okay, well, if it's something important, then like you would tell me, and he didn't. So she's like, okay, well then I'm just going to go hang out with my friend who I never get to see. And I'm sure he'll understand. I guess he said to her, like, well, I guess you have a choice to make when she asked, like, can I hang out with my friend or do we need to hang out? Like, what are we doing? And it kind of blew up in her face, and like it led to like a huge argument, and he felt like really disrespected. And he also said like, I can't respect people that have friends like that, because this guy knows that the best friend hates him.
But it wasn't the best friend's doing to try and like
Right.
pull her away from her boyfriend on that day, I'm sure.
No, I mean, and the best friend didn't even plan to come out. It's because they had a friend in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so now basically she's like, what do I do? Because they're both really hard headed. And he apparently kind of insinuated like, I can't be with someone who has friends like that, or is disrespectful, has disrespectful friends like that, something along those lines. And so she feels like he's basically saying like, if you want to be with me, you can't be friends with this girl anymore. And she even told him that, oh, I don't really talk to her that much anymore, but she was lying to him. Like, it is still her best friend. They talk all the time. And so she's like lying to her boyfriend, but she's like, what do I do? They both hate each other. And I'm like in the middle.
Yeah. So did he know that the friend was coming out when he told the girlfriend to hold that date?
Sounds like no.
I don't think so. I think it was
Okay.
before,
Last
from my
minute.
understanding. I think it was before.
So, I mean, I can understand if I told like my husband, hey, this date, you know what I mean? But I don't think I would give him an ultimatum. Like if his friend came out of town, I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, go ahead and see your friend. But
Right.
it almost sounds like it was a test.
Well, that's
I
why
don't
he
think-
said you have a choice to make to her. I'm like, that is very manipulative.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like his verbiage either, but when he said, hey, don't book anything on this date,
Right.
she should have left it alone
Yeah.
and respected the fact that he obviously had something planned. And then if he didn't and they ended up laying on the couch, then I would be pissed if I was
Yeah.
her and say, hey, look, one of my friends is in town that I know you don't necessarily love, but I do love them. And so, if we're not going to do anything today, I'm going to go see them tonight. But like, I think to kind of keep pushing it when he was obviously stressed out planning something for her or for them, it kind of like he was kind of hoping that it would just
Be left alone.
Yeah, and
like
they
she
could
would
just-
respect that he
Yeah,
said that.
that he said
Because if
that.
he's doing something as a surprise, he's not going to tell you what he's doing.
Well, and he probably felt like, oh, okay, so now
Your
your
friend's
friend,
more important,
your
so
friend
you're
comes
asking
into
me?
town, and now you're trying to ditch our plans. Like I
Yeah.
already told you, and obviously she's more important. Which
I would be pissed.
I would be pissed
Yeah.
too. I could see that.
I think his feelings were hurt, and so he kind of got like protective and a little
defensive.
defensive with his words. But I don't know your friend, so I don't know how your friend has treated him or disrespected him or whatnot. So I feel like an ultimatum would only really come from me if that friend of my husband's would like talk badly about me
Was a
or
bad
was a really
influence?
bad influence, things like that.
Yeah.
So as far as an ultimatum, I don't ever think those are okay to give to somebody.
Yeah, I don't like ultimatums.
But I mean, I don't know this friend of yours, so but I do not think that it was cool that you were. It almost probably felt like to him like that you were trying to get out of plans with him.
Yeah,
He was
kinda like
trying
a
to plan
slap
for
in the
you.
face.
Well,
face.
and I also think, was she not telling him like that she wanted to make plans with this friend that he doesn't like? Because
She did.
she
She
did?
said, yeah, she said we can sit on the couch anytime. Like, this friend's in town. Like, are we
okay.
really?
So I was just
doing
wondering if she
anything?
was hiding that from him because she told him that they don't talk that much. So I wasn't sure
Oh.
if like she wasn't
I think that was
divulging all of that information.
And also the friend, when she flew out there for the emergency, she was staying with her in her apartment. And so when I told her when
Oh.
she came, I may not be able to hang out with her on March 6th because my boyfriend had something planned. On the 5th, I asked my boyfriend what we were doing the next day so I could plan my day with my best friend around it. He wouldn't tell me anything and just said something along the lines of, you have a choice to make.
So it was a whole day long thing that he had planned. It
She's-
sounds like.
yeah,
and he
she's-
didn't want to have a time limit on it.
Yeah.
And then he felt like disrespected and like him
Like he was
planning in
getting pushed to the
advance.
side.
Right, even though he was planning in advance and saying, hey, please set aside this day. So yeah, that was pretty disrespectful in my opinion. But you probably didn't realize it or see
Yeah.
it that way at
How
the
old
time.
is she?
She's 23. So I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, it's
your
young.
significant other should always
Be the priority.
be your priority. And sometimes friends who aren't in a relationship may not understand that. And that sucks. But hopefully the friend would have understood, like, hey, I have plans. He asked me not to do anything. I think it could be okay saying like, hey, I know you made plans. I want to do whatever we're doing. Is it something we can move or change because she flew in like last minute? She's in town. I would like to see her. But if it's not something we can change, then that's okay.
But
I
was
just
she
want
only
to
in
ask.
town for that day? Because like
It sounded just like a couple days.
So then do something the day before or the day after.
But she ended up like just going to the beach with her. And was like,
do
oh, I'm
that
sure
the
he'll
day before or
understand.
the day after.
And as far as the ultimatum goes, again, it's hard to give advice on that when I don't really know how like your friend has been towards him.
Right.
But again, you know, I mean, I don't think that I would ditch a friend like that unless they were truly disrespecting me by disrespecting my man. Like, if they just straight up don't like each other, he's going to have to deal with the fact that you guys are still friends. Like, that's just how it is.
Well, and I think too, like, I understand the friend. Like, she's just trying to be a good friend. Like, this guy wouldn't even commit to you for like a year. So I kind of understand where the friend's coming from. She sounds like
they were
very
really young though at that time too.
Right.
It sounds like college.
Yeah, I mean, you can't commit to a title of a boyfriend. Like, come on. Just because you're probably getting it on the side.
College
Let's
boys
be
are
real.
really dumb. Men are not like
They are
anywhere where they need to be until they're like in their mid 30s.
True. Don't
most
marry a
part.
man until he's 30 at least. That's what I say.
Save yourself. Save yourself.
Yeah, so I get the friend, but I think if it was me, I would, and I really like saw a future, which she said she does with this man, then, and you're not going to give up your best friend, like that's your best friend, you know, I would get them together and I would sit down and be like, look, let's have a conversation about this
These are
because
expectations. Stop putting me in the middle.
yeah, like you guys are the two most important people in my life and I love you and I see a future with you and you're my best friend. So like, let's talk about it and work it out and how can we all get along? Because there's been friends of Andy's that like I didn't necessarily like them like as a person really, but I understood why he was friends with them and I respected that. And you know, and I mean now like the one I'm thinking of has like kind of changed his ways, but like you know, that's his friend. I had to respect it and I had to, you know, respect his relationship with him. Like
Well, and I think when you're friends with people or in a relationship with people and you're that close, you can be blinded by, you know, things as well.
that's true.
So I would ask you, what's her, what are we calling
Young
her?
girl, Sally.
Sally. We would ask you, when you are alone and you're thinking about these two people, your boyfriend and your friend, who do you trust? Who do you think wouldn't like talk behind your back? Who do you think would have your back no matter what? Like, who do you feel like feels like home? Who do you trust? Who's loyal? And then that's who you make your priority, because I have had the same kind of situation here and there. And I couldn't see how toxic a friendship was in my life until I stood away from it and then realized that that could have been keeping me from other things or vice versa, even like a toxic boyfriend. And then my friends were trying to get me out of it, but I couldn't see it because I was too close to that. So I would say like have a real conversation with yourself first and figure out truly, like, you don't have to make any life altering decisions of like taking these people out of your life, but like maybe let it kind of guide your choices and your decisions.
I was going to say, if you don't feel like that about both of those people, they probably shouldn't be in your life.
Exactly. So if one of those feels more than the other, then
Ask
you
your
know.
mom. I mean, I don't know your relationship with your mom.
yeah, that's
So,
yeah.
if
That's what I'm
you-
saying. Like, just have a conversation with yourself, because in your core and in your gut, I know you will figure out what's right. That's why you're asking us.
Yeah. See, I will say there's one thing about me, like I was never like really self-aware, and I feel like that's like such a strength of yours. So I feel like if I was in her situation, personally, I don't think I'd be able to sit there and ask myself and be able to figure it out on my own, which is why like I love my relationship with my mom, because has always been my sounding board. So maybe if it's not your mom, like is there another friend or mentor or someone in your life
That you look up to.
who you look up to and who knows both of them? And I would ask them like, hey, like, you know, these people, like, you know, they could both be great people and they're just butting heads because they're fighting for your love and affection, you know, or one of them could be more toxic than the other and you need to, you know, cut that person off.
Or
Like,
maybe your friend has not settled into the fact that your boyfriend's like grown up a little bit and matured and is finally committed and isn't that same person that he was a year ago or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's a really young age. And so like, and hopefully she's not holding a grudge. Maybe she's holding on to this, like, my best friend and he wouldn't commit, but like sometimes you have to let things go. And so
'Cause-
that might be a
yeah.
good way to get them together and be like, let's hash this shit out, because
Yeah.
I'm in the middle and you both love me, right? Like, you don't want that for me. So
Mm-hmm.
let's figure this out.
Because sometimes friends can get jealous. Like when you're their best friend, they're like, that guy took her away from me. But in reality, it should kind of be like that. Like you don't marry your girl best friend. I mean, unless, you're into that. But, you marry, like, my husband is my best friend, and my relationships with my girlfriends changed a little bit, and that's okay. But they know that, understand that, respect that. Whereas, like, I've had relationships in the past with friends who, like, got jealous. They're like, well, you just ditched me for them. It's like, well, I should, to an extent. There's a healthy boundary
that I don't ever even see or hear from anymore because she gets so far up all of her boyfriend's asses that
that's not healthy.
she's gone when when she's dating someone and when she isn't, because she's around and she's a friend and she's there. And then when she's dating somebody, you never hear from her ever. Ever.
Yeah.
Love her, but a little less for that.
And so I'm curious, okay, what was going to happen on March 6th?
Yeah, I really
Like,
wanna
I
know.
want her to email us
Sounds
and
like something
let us
special.
know or comment. Yeah, because
Guys don't plan shit like that in advance. So
I'm
No,
like,
the fact
to me,
that
I'm
a
like, was he
guy-
going to propose? Or I don't
Yeah.
think so, but I don't know.
The fact that he was like taking the time to plan something, like that's huge.
Well, and he was clearly trying to like kind of keep it a secret, like pretending
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
that's a good day for a good time for a shit sandwich. Like, I love that you took the time to like plan something for me, and like thought about it in advance. And I'm actually really excited for it. And then what you said, hey, my friend just flew into town. I know you guys aren't the best of friends, but if, we are still on for the 6th, then disregard. But if not, she's in town, but like a shit sandwich is good.
Like, is it like, was he surprising her to take her to Disneyland where like you could go a different day? You know what I'm saying? Or was it like something that had a like reservation or like money?
So
Right. So there was a reason that it sounds like it was probably special to him and he was excited about it. And I think his ego just like got
there
shot down.
should have been more conversation before she was like, peace, I'm going to hang out with my friend today then.
Yeah, that was a little abrupt. Unless there's more to the story that we don't know, but going off of what we have.
But I feel like you're a young woman, and I feel like we probably all would have done something like that. And now looking back, like we can, as older, wiser women.
I wouldn't have. I always would have wanted to hang out with a boyfriend more than a friend.
Yeah, I was boy crazy.
I would always ditch my girlfriends, and
They're all the time, even if they don't live nearby. But I was
But
I
they
was always
live
dating.
together?
No,
They don't live
she
together?
I don't think
her
so.
friend was staying with her.
No,
I
her
always
friend was
dated for
staying with
marriage
her.
though.
I don't think so. Same.
I always dated for marriage. It was never really like I never had a boyfriend that I wasn't planning on like it being serious at some point.
Well, I shouldn't say that. As I got older, I realized. But I also kind of like dated around just like for fun. That was
Dating is different than having a boyfriend. though.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
Oh, I didn't date. I just had boyfriends.
I didn't date that much either because I was so picky.
Yeah, but I don't think that you should be lying to your boyfriend about your friendship. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's not good for anyone.
And
If
you're
you're
lying
li-
to him. You're betraying him.
Yes, and if you're lying, then that means there's something wrong with either him or her. Because
Like, why do you feel like you have to lie to
Yeah.
him about your best friend?
yeah, it's
Like,
either you're nervous about what he's gonna say, or she's not a good influence, and you know that. Because if she was fine, then I feel like you'd be like, no, like I'm gonna hang out with her. You need to deal with it. Like we're
truth
fine.
bombs.
So, yeah,
Jenna's a wise woman.
I've been
Very.
through a lot of shit.
Relationship.
Relationship.
Yeah. So is this a relationship or a relationship?
I'm really trying to work on my cussing, so this segment is not going to help with that. Oh, well.
Is shit a cuss word?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it is.
I'm gonna say that this is a relationship. It just needs some finessing and some respect on either side and some work.
I'm going to agree. I think the relationship with the boyfriend, it sounds like is good at this point. I don't love that he didn't want to commit at first, but it sounds like
People change.
Yep, it sounds like he's committed now, and that's good. The friend, I don't know. I'm curious, was the friend like pushing her to like, well, I'm in town, you need to see me and not hang out with him, and you know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, then I would say the friendship is a friendship.
Friendship.
yeah.
Or she needs to know your boundaries, because sometimes if you don't stand up to a friend and say, hey, like, please don't talk about my boyfriend like that or my husband like that, people just say what they say because they don't think it affects you, but you have to put your foot down.
Ever
And if
let
you're venting
I
to
will not
her.
ever let a friend or someone else disrespect my husband. Like I can say stuff that like I have issues with, you can't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And if
Don't talk about
she
my
already
hubby.
doesn't like your boyfriend, maybe not have her be the person that you vent to about him if you get in
Oh, yeah,
fights or
that's
anything
a-
like that.
That's true.
Good little tidbit.
Yeah.
That is.
For sure.
So I will say if you are committed and you put him first moving forward, then this will be a relationship. But if you continue to choose your friends over him, then it will be a relationship.
Yeah, and who knows how much of that's been going on if he felt the need to give her an ultimatum like that.
Yeah, I feel like he may feel disregarded in other areas too. And this was like,
Kind of the last straw. Like I put something special together and
Yeah.
you ran off and hung out with your friend instead of me.
Yeah.
well, you wanted some real raw advice. Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The fact that like she specifically said we never really do anything. First off, you need to have fun in your relationship. Like
sounds like you're married.
young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, even in our marriage, like we have fun. We go and do stuff.
Well,
even
we
with a
don't do
kid.
anything, and that's fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
it works for you
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I like to
everyone's
relax.
different.
because
Give
you're
me my
busy
bed.
running around crazy. Yeah. So like my husband and I like crashed a wedding the other weekend. And I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. You know
I was at a mariachi show last night and I was thinking,
what?
oh shit, I'm so fucking tired. I wish I was just laying on the couch right now.
Yeah, it always sounds like a good idea, and then I get there and I'm like, oh, where's my bed?
Yeah.
I'm like excited. We're gonna go out for my birthday. This will come out after my birthday, but we're gonna go out for my birthday and like go line dancing, and you'll have a new baby.
Fun.
So
Where are
obviously,
you going line dancing?
Stampede, Temecula. What?
Go. I want to go. I want to go line
Of
dancing.
course, you
I'll
guys
just-
are invited.
I'll just come pick you up.
You're going
It'll
to
be
go?
like a date.
Who's gonna watch the baby?
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Figure it out. Bring.
Skylar.
There you go.
She might still be on the tit at that age, huh?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Andy's mom is gonna watch
It's like a few
Jensen, so
weeks.
she could. We'll just have her come over, and they can watch both of them.
Can I bring a baby in a bar?
You know,
kidding.
I wish I could
Sweet
bring
Home
Jensen.
Alabama, right?
I brought him in bars, but that one specifically, you do need an ID to get in. So
Well,
I don't
Like,
think he'll
look,
have
she's
an
not
she'll have an
drinking.
ID.
if we take a rain check, I still want to go dancing there sometime. That'd be fun.
go line
Yeah.
dancing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun. How do we get into this?
Well,
I
I'll
don't know,
borrow
squirrel.
Brooklyn's boots.
Yeah, you can borrow my boots.
I'll borrow your shoes for once.
I would say you could borrow mine, but mine are too big for your guys' feet.
Yeah.
Too small for mine right now, though. Ugh.
You know, we need to go to Nashville. That's what we need to do.
I
Pop
wanna
that
go in the
baby
fall.
out.
I'm going in the fall.
Can we come?
Yeah.
Down.
I've got 3 extra
Do it.
bedrooms.
Do it.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, I don't know where there's line dancing in Nashville, so if anyone knows,
I do.
please let me know.
I do. I got you.
Perfect.
This has been a long filming day.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
It's like my 4th glass of rosé.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching or listening.